Alright, I do want to check something. Since this one has an underbarrel, yeah, you can get the UV light on the shotguns if they have the underbarrel. I'm assuming same thing with it. Yep. So UV lights available. It seems like UV lights available for every single weapon that does have an underbarrel attachment. Yep. I'm just like choosing the most random ones. What about the M7? Nope. Not the M7. I mean, that makes sense because the M7, you literally just spray and pray. That's not what I wanted to do. UV light. Okay, yeah. So I think the only exceptions would be the M7, the Vulcan. Yeah, the Vulcan. Maybe the Samaritan, it seems. Nope, Samaritan is not excluded. And the ninja weapons, let's be honest. And probably the biomorphic projector. Yep. Okay. That is all I needed to know. I mean, there isn't really much to really talk about. I mean, this update, I mean, I'm gonna be completely honest. I've experienced some crashes. So far 2, due to the fact that some of it was like.
Back at R&D Blue. Perhaps there's something we missed during our past excursions here. Yes, we're reading a new area somewhere in the atrium.
A new area? Oh! They expanded! This is the map they expanded! It's R&D labs!
It appears Moorcroft and his associates used the facilities here to create their own arsenal of stalkers. Whatever for. We need to get these workstations powered back up. They can elaborate.
That's cool. Alright, cool. This is what they mean by extending the area. Or expanding the levels. That's actually pretty cool. I mean, it's very minor, but I mean, it's not like we're expecting to actually like a huge expansion of the level, you know? Like, it's very minor. It adds more to the story. Obviously, we're discovering stuff as we're going. I mean, I like it. It was on like a table, so I'm assuming the table might be. Knowing killing floor logic, it's gonna be over on this side. It's gonna be on top of here. Am I right? Ooh, I was wrong. I'm a goof. It might be up here. Yep. There it is. All right.
Now, if you would, plug the cells into those breakers.
Where is this breaker at? Oh. There we go.
What do we have here? A list of recently deceased U.S. military officials. Moorcroft must be using the stalkers to carry out their assassinations. Carla knew. That's why he had her killed.
Alright, so it seems like we are already done with the quest in R&D labs, which kind of blows. I feel like they could have done more with it. Like, oh, hey, look, like. So, I guess it's already been known that stalkers are still, but I guess these are, I guess, Moorcroft's, like, stalkers, it seems. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm kind of, like. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't understand what's going on, but like, I mean, it just seems very odd, you know? I don't know. To me, it's a bit weird that, you know, like, okay, so Cordelia knows what a stalker is, but like, are these stalkers like Moorcroft's own stalkers, like their own version of the stalker, or is this like, or is like Moorcroft actually running Horzine at the moment, you know? I have a feeling the boss, we're probably going to be fighting Moorcroft as the end of the first season. Or Moorcroft might be a clone of the Patriarch, right? Like some sort of twist where it's like, this is the clone that didn't get twisted, you know, during. Or like the first clone of the Patriarch. where it was like during the testing phase before he does his whole mutations and all that. But maybe, you know, like they're not showing his face because, you know, like why wouldn't they? They gotta make it mysterious, right? It kind of sucks that they're not really utilizing Scully as much, like, because obviously, like, why do we need someone, you know, okay, let's be completely honest, like, okay, like, 2020 outbreak happened, right, and now we're, like, far out into the future, and out of the blue, it's like, okay, yeah, but we, like, Cordelia's like, yeah, we need this specific person.
Let's book someone's party.
Okay, Scully. But what I was, as of what I was saying before Scully said that, like, why hasn't no one at, like, are the Stalkers cloning, you know, Moorcroft's version of the Stalkers, or is it like an expansion of the Stalker project, or, you know, like, there's no real, like, actual, like, I get it that they're trying to keep it open-ended, but I'm trying to wrap my head around it because, like, you know, the Stalker is completely different from what it was from KF2 and KF1. Obviously, it seems like Cordelia knows exactly what a Stalker is. So I'm kind of baffled on, like, okay, so I get it, you need more hands in Nightfall, but what is the purpose of really having Scully? What's he doing? But what I mean is that, you know, we rescued Scully, so, like, wouldn't it be better to utilize Scully more in terms of, like, information about, like, the outbreak? Because, one, Foster's a clone, so we can't, you know, he doesn't know what's going on because he was cloned by Horsey, right? So it seems like Horsey managed to get, like, his DNA somehow, but they didn't really specify what got Foster, right? I wanted to see more interaction with characters. Obviously, even though I'm a solo player, but, like, I would love to, like, hear references from other characters. So, like, obviously, I want to hear Scully's reaction to the fact that, you know, Foster's there, but does Foster even remember Scully? You get what I mean? Like, you get what I'm saying? Because, like, that's the weird part, right? But there's, like, no real legitimate, like, connection to the characters besides, oh yeah, like, they work together as Nightfall, you know? It's not just, oh yeah, like, you know, this is how, you know, they talk to each other. Like, there's banter between each character. I feel like that would be a good opportunity, but I don't, obviously I can't test it because I play solo a lot. And I'll be completely honest, like, everyone's probably going to be playing Scully because he's new and they want to hear his new quotes and all that noise. But, you know, I guess we will see in due time if there is more to it, you know. Probably has to ask questions, right? He has to have questions like, why, how, like, you know, like, how did Scully get captured but Foster is a clone, right? But obviously, once again, like, that's something I do want to see more of when it comes to games like these, because, like, this is what, in my opinion, what a lot of people say there's no real, like, soul into a game. It's like they didn't really put much thought into, like, okay, well, Foster's a clone. They specified that a lot, but the fact that there's no specification on, like, I'm assuming the clone doesn't even know Scully, right? But maybe, I mean, I don't know, like, that's like how I'm seeing it. Like, I do feel like it would be such a missed opportunity to really have them interact mid, you know, fight or whatever, or between waves or whatever, right? To talk about or just to mention or reference things that happened in the past, right? So that it doesn't seem like everything just out of place. I am getting wrecked because I'm talking about this so much. I don't know, to me it would just make the game feel more lively, right? A lot of games now, like, they don't have banter, it seems, between characters or factions that much, so there's no real, like, personality. But yeah, I mean, that's just the one thing I do want to mention is the fact that I want to, you know, hear, you know, Scully mention stuff about the old Foster or something, you know? Like, something for him to really, like, oh, you know, like, oh, this is a clone of, you know, of Foster? Like, you know, like, something like that. Something that would actually, you know, make the world feel more like, oh, wow, like, because, again, he's from 2020. And he's been doing this for a while, right? And so, wouldn't it be more fitting for him to actually, you know, talk about previous incursions or previous, like, when he was in Merc, right? But yeah, I mean, that's just what I think is kind of missing, like him mentioning like, oh, Foster were like this, you know, like that.
Specialist, please return to base immediately. Hargis Army Depot is under attack again.
What did you say? Is it Army Depot?
Specialist, please proceed to Hargis Army Depot. While we don't know the reason for their distress call, it sounded decidedly urgent.
Okay, I guess we go back to Army Depot. Okay, yeah, I think we have one more mission. We're gonna get a logo trinket. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'll try my best to continue this conversation in the next video, but yeah.